Okay, so 4.1 graph.
That is never a good.
Quadratic functions. In standard form. All right, so a definition of a quadratic function. It is a function that can be written in standard form. Y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. The parent function for quadratic functions so I'm going to draw a picture and then I'm going to label it. This is really irritating. I'm trying to get this thing to like...
In the middle?
Yeah. What is that? What?
Just cut it off.
What the?
Technology.
Oh, wow. Look how far we've come.
Right. People in the 20s were like, we'll have flying cars.
We can't draw
What is happening? Please explain this to me. Okay. I'm gonna give up. We're just gonna...
And then, yeah.
Oh, look at that. I got it. I told it I was gonna give up and it decided to work.
My pencil doesn't
It's unfortunate.
Did you say your pencil
No,
doesn't?
I'll be going good, and then my pencil will just break, and I'll just lose momentum.
Yeah, I'll be fine, and then my hands, I'll just draw in a straight line, and my hands be
Yeah,
bad. Seriously.
Alright, so I'm just gonna label this stuff. So the line down the middle, okay, is called the axis of symmetry. Abbreviated AOS, because you're not going to want to write axis of symmetry every time I ask you to tell me what it is.
You are correct.
It divides the parabola into mirror images and passes through the vertex. So if you ever tell me that the axis of symmetry is not the x-coordinate of your vertex, something is wrong. Okay, the red dot that I drew on here, obviously you wouldn't normally put that. I'm just doing it for emphasis right now. It is the lowest or highest. Okay, if we had a parabola flipped upside down, it would be the highest. Okay, point on a parabola, and that is a vertex.
What? To get penalty? Did you get paid?
For the parent function, the vertex is at 0, 0. Properties of the graph of y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So if we have y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is greater than 0, do y'all still need this stuff up here? Or can I slide it up?
I still. So go with.
We're so long, and I still can't.
I'll draw these and then I'll talk about them in a second. And then I'm also going to do one for if a is less than 0.
Running a straight line.
His penis so fast.
All right, so basically the yellow dotted line, okay, I know it doesn't necessarily, well, it kind of sort of looks yellow, but that is the axis of symmetry. Okay, so if I ask you to graph them and to draw the axis of symmetry, it's drawn as a dotted line through the vertex. Okay, so straight down the middle. If you have it in this form, okay, which is standard form, in order to find what the axis of symmetry is, or the x-coordinate of your vertex, because they're the same thing, you do negative b divided by 2a. So you have, it would be whatever your b value is, make it negative, okay? Or obviously if b is negative, negative times negative is going to become positive. So pay attention to signs. Divided by 2 times whatever your a value is. Okay, and that's going to give you your x-coordinate. Your axis of symmetry is always written as a line, as x equals whatever, okay? And then we would use your x-coordinate to find your y-coordinate. But we'll talk about how to find that in a little bit. And then the other point is just showing you that that point is on the graph that's drawn there. Okay, so if a is less than 0, meaning there's a negative sign, it means that it's reflected, which is why it's flipped down instead of being up. So that was a W. There we go. All right, so then some characteristics. And also we will see other forms. Okay, this is standard form. We'll see a vertex form, and I'm blanking on the third one, but there's another form. I can't remember if it's 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3, or if it's going to be some of them that we get after break. If it is, I'll look in a second. I may tell you to switch, and we'll go through and do all the forms, but I think they're in order. Anyways, so we can try to get through them all before break. Then you don't have to worry about them afterwards. All right, characteristics of the graph of y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So the graph opens up if a is greater than 0 and down if a is less than 0. The graph is narrower than a graph of y is equal to x squared if the absolute value of a is greater than 1, meaning that it's compressed, and it's wider if the absolute value of a is less than 1, it's expanded. The axis of symmetry is at x is equal to negative b over 2a. The vertex has the x coordinate of negative b over 2a, and the y-intercept is c, so the point 0, c is on the parabola. Okay, notice that's the y-intercept, okay, not the y-coordinate of the vertex. Sometimes they may be the same, but not always. All right, and then the last thing for the notes is minimum and maximum values. So for y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, the vertex y-coordinate is the maximum value of the function if a is greater than 0. Sorry, this is supposed to say minimum. Why does that say maximum? That says okay, hold on. I can read. Minimum value. Okay, so it's a minimum if a is greater than 0, and it's a maximum. So it's a maximum value if a is less than 0. Okay, so the point of whatever a is always going to be, okay, or well, not whatever a is. Whatever your vertex is always either going to be your maximum or your minimum value, okay? But the a is going to tell you if it's going to be a minimum or a maximum, okay, because it's going to either open up or down.